So here's the problem. In order for you to make a bet, they have to know who you are so they can pay you off if you win or know who to collect it from if you lose, right?
Yes, sir.
How come nobody's ever brought those folks in for a hearing to find out? The other thing is, in your home state, when that what am I trying to say? The astronauts, when their rocket blew up over Texas, remember that?
Yes.
And they was announcing, if anybody take anything away from the crime scene, that's a felon, because this is an open crime scene. And yet, here at September the 11th, they took all of the debris, they carried it to a little mafia place in Brooklyn, that's who was doing the hauling, put it on barges, and then shipped it to China. And nobody's been indicted for interfering with a crime scene. And so when you stop and think about, how they do it, and all of the papers, we choose sides. This is a good paper. This ain't none of them.
But let's not forget who ran security on the World Trade Center, Marvin Bush's company. But his contract ended September 10th. But let's go further. Newsweek and AP reported Bush signed the launch order to attack Afghanistan September 10th, and they attacked Kabul the night of the attack. How did he have the aircraft carriers 2 months before ready? How did he have 44,000 U.S. troops in Tajikistan, Uzbekistan? How did he have his brother declare martial law in Florida the day before?
Yep. I mean, when you stop and think about, it's so open and plain. But then I go back to what I said before. When you have a nation that's 1/6 of the world's population, but consumes 94% of the world hardest drugs, that's not counting alcohol, nicotine, and caffeine. And let me tell you something else, brother. Every 30 seconds, you and I have been talking, a woman in America had been beat up by her boyfriend or husband. Not no Taliban. So when you stop and think about this country we call America the beautiful, there's a whole lot of things have to happen before this country gets back to be the beautiful country that we want to believe.
It's become America the Babylon.
Yes. Well, I put it better one than that. You know the story of Simon and Gomorrah, right?
Yes.
If this God don't do something to America quick, then God owes a serious apology to Simon and Gomorrah. So somewhere, now here's where I fit in. I'm looking at this, and I'm saying, oh, God, when you take those, listen, we spend trillions of dollars a month for security. And you tell me some snotty-nosed punk, little dudes from a foreign country that can't speak English, most of them ain't never been to college, can slip in. It's just like the Mexicans coming across the border. Look, if you got Mexicans coming across the border, can't read or write, never been to school, if they can get across that border, what is the KGB doing? What is French intelligence in Britain? They're not doing nothing because we're not going to permit them to come across. So when you see these folks coming across the border, they're not coming across because they love America. They're coming across because they're coming over here to get jobs. And if I came to Austin, Texas today and opened up a liquor store and only sold liquor to 13-year-old children and down, if you're 13 and 9, you can buy whiskey. If you're a cop, you don't come and arrest the children, you arrest me. So why are we going to arrest the Mexicans coming over the border instead of arresting the people that's luring them over with jobs? And you do that very simple. If your company gets caught hiring illegals, you lose the right to do business for 30 days.
But they don't want to stop it because they want to drive down the wages.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying the American people is bitter with the folks that's coming through for the jobs instead of being bitter. It's a funny thing about American mentality. We will always attack the underdog. Do you know how many people I speak to, man, is fighting for your life? Oh, man, look at, man, can you believe he's taking on this and he's taking on that? One person with courage has always been the majority. And so consequently, when you stop and think about, and see, you're too close to understand your influence. I'm out here, I try to do 250 days a year. I travel 24 hours a day, and your name keeps coming up. Man, I heard this here. And see, it's kind of interesting. When I go to a doctor I trust, that I thought my headache was a headache, and then you tell me it's a brain tumor, I don't need no second opinion. I trust you. Well, that's the way people feel about you across this country. They they trust you. And so people who don't have the research and the finances to do the research, they pick it up and they know, and then they promote it to their mother, to their friends, to their children. And so...
And well, let me ask you this question. I've now discovered from insiders that Glenn Beck is taking what Oprah Winfrey does and what I do, and he has a team that fuses it together and then puts a pro-torture, pro-war, pro-patriot act on it, and he's now copying but twisting. What do I do about that? Because I feel dirty that my message that I mean to be good and pure is being turned into a counterfeit.
Well, let me tell you this here. Let's say you own General Motors, right? And I'll go buy me a Cadillac and use it to stick up a bank. Ain't a damn thing you can do about it. You're not making it for me to stick up banks, but when I buy it, I got a right to use it as a getaway car. so it just makes us smarter and slicker and hipper. And so there's nothing you can do about it. But you see, all of this will be exposed. Look.
Well, Dick, stay there. Dick Gregory's our guest. Amazing. dick-gregory.com. We're going to get into a whole bunch of other issues on the other side. Stay with us. Amazing interview. dick-gregory.com is the website. Our sites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Dick's going to be with us about 20 minutes into the next hour. Amazing interview. I want to get into a host of issues. You know, we forget about Commerce Secretary Ron Brown. I mean, after Dick Gregory exposed it and the colonel leaked him the photos, I mean, they shot those guys in the head and blew the hatch, and Special Forces put on their mask, and then they remote controlled it into a mountainside over in Serbia. And they killed him. He said, if I go down, Clinton's going down. They said, you die. And they killed that whole group of CEOs on board that plane. They're not playing games. Just like they're stealing the death benefits of the dead troops. Bloomberg. Just like they're telling you DU's good for the troops. I mean, these are some cold, hardcore killers. People say, well, why are you still alive? Well, they may end up killing me someday. But the point is they know that'll make my message that much stronger. And they can't kill us all. Back when they killed Martin Luther King or Kennedy, we didn't have an internet. We didn't have tens of millions of people awake. We didn't have people coming together. Dick Gregory, getting into black leadership, because you've been there from the very beginning as a true leader, standing up against the oppression, you know, the modern slavery that was still going on, Jim Crow, all of it. But then I look at Margaret Sanger. I've done deep research. I actually sent off to the universities and got the actual letters, not just stuff on the internet, where she said, look, we got to kill these subhuman weeds. And we've got to pose as liberals. We got to hire black leaders. We got to pose as liberals. And we're going to get these people. And they have. I mean, 51% of black people that would have existed after 1973 don't exist. And that's why it's good that Glenn Beck, you know, had one of the nieces of Martin Luther King up there speaking about that. It's good that he's starting to be forced to cover that. So it's just that I know what's behind it. It's just to get our trust.
Yeah.
But I mean, a brief segment, but speaking about the black leadership, the fake leadership.
Before we go into that, let me just finish up my September 11th piece.
Yo, go ahead, sir. Sorry. Yeah, I'm ranting.
I decided, looking at the firefighters and the first responders running into a building when everybody else was running out, and just looking at there's 900 first responders have died because of what was in the air, and nobody give a damn. So I decided this September the 11th that I was going to go on a fast. My birthday is October the 12th, 1932. So I'll be 78 this year. In 2 years, I will be 80. So I decided that as of right now, I'm eating no more solid food until my 80th birthday, and fasting and praying and asking people around the world at 12 noon every day at your time, just tune in to a meditation or a prayer that the truth will come out. Now, the folks that believe the truth is out, then why not pray? Pray that the truth will come out. Those of us that know what the truth is, you'd be surprised. You see, these folks can mess with this, they can do this, but the one thing they can't do, on a clear night, look up at the Big Dipper and the Milky Way. They can't mess with that. And the same force that put the Milky Way and the Big Dipper and the universe together put us together. And when you tune into that type of power, the rest of the stuff is just chump stuff. And so that's why somebody asked me today on the radio show, you've been fasting for 40 years. What did your doctor say? My doctor been dead 30 years. It's serious. And so, again, that's one person. And let me tell you something. Brother Jones, when's the last time the New York Times did a front-page story on you?
No, they've never done it.
When's the last time you had the cover of Parade magazine?
Never.
All right. I say that to say this. When the universe picks you, it leaves no footprints. It tells you you don't have to be validated by the Washington Post or the New York Times or NBC. I've got your back, brother. I have validated you, and that's all that counts. And let me tell you the effect that we have. See, we look at things, and sometimes we don't know what it means.
Look, this is so deep, sir. Stay there. 1 minute break. Coming right back with Dick Gregory. This is an amazing interview, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us.